Number one, straight up, above all, I just don't want someone else raising my kids. As a teacher, it was truly disturbing how many people we have in the classroom with our children for 7 to 8 hours a day that should not be in that position. And not even just the classroom teachers, but everything from the bus drivers to the after school care workers. That was like a huge, scary realization. Like, just so y'all know, in order to become a teacher, yes, you have to pass like state certification exams. You do have to have a degree, but there is no like mental, psychological evaluation that takes place whatsoever. We're so desperate for teachers right now that you can't really be picky when it comes to hiring teachers. At this point, they're just taking anybody they can get. And aside from not trusting people with my kids, it's truly just the fact of missing so much time with them and not wanting somebody else to raise them. And COVID really is what put this into perspective for me. Number two reason is the curriculum. The actual content that your child is learning in school, or that my children would have been learning in school, just was not good enough for me. My first few years of teaching, we were using like legitimate curriculum with like textbooks and teacher's guides and worksheets. My last year teaching in 2020, we had switched over to these things called modules, which were literal like binders of computer paper that the school district had typed out, and that was our curriculum. They were scripts. And not only are the curriculums terrible, but it really is like a one size fits all. We're not slowing down for the kids that need extra help. We're not speeding up for the kids that, you know, are ready to move on. We're kind of like hanging out in that middle area, teaching to the middle. And I totally understand why. It's impossible to be able to customize education for 30 kids in one classroom. So there's really no solution to it. It's like, it's not the teacher's fault. It's not even the school's fault. It's just the way the system is designed. Number three is that, yes, I am trying to shelter my kids from being exposed to the things that are happening in the public schools. And actually, I say public schools, but just schools in general. Private schools, public schools, doesn't matter. The drastic change in behavior and accountability and the lack of consequences that are given out for extreme behaviors, like that drastic change from when I first started teaching to 12 years later when I finally got out. Those last few years of teaching, and I teach in a pretty decent area around here, the behaviors are just simply out of control. And this is elementary. I'm talking 3rd grade to 5th grade level. Even when I taught 1st grade, like, these kids are just so entitled. Technology has completely taken over their brains and their morals. And this is why you see on this channel, I talk all the time about kids and screen time and social media and keeping them off. My experience as a teacher, that is why. And I see the students in my classroom who are making good choices, who do have those moral foundational principles that were taught to them at home. They're the ones getting through, because my attention as the teacher is on these kids who are destroying the rooms, who are having serious behavioral meltdowns. And it's the kids who are actually there to learn, that want to learn. They're the ones getting screwed, and I just didn't want that to be my kid. Number 4 is opportunity. Now, I know this is like controversial. People think that homeschoolers don't get the same opportunities that public schoolers get. We don't get prom, we don't get graduation, we don't get sports, which, by the way, homeschoolers do get all those things. My homeschooled children, they're gonna be getting their associate's degree well before their same age public school peers. Because we make our own schedule and we're able to finish all of our schoolwork 3 hours a day, we are finishing the grade levels a lot faster. I can get them taking their SAT, ACT, college placement exams early. They can start doing dual enrollment, early college programs as homeschoolers, doing all those things and being able to work a job outside of the home. Again, we're only schooling 3 hours a day at home, which leaves a lot of room for volunteer opportunities, job opportunities, that kind of thing. Number 5, last, probably most important reason is my personal relationship with my own kids. Going back to when I said as a teacher, like, you know, going to work at 6:30 in the morning, getting home at 5, or doing bath, dinner, bedtime, like, I thought that was normal. Now that I'm with my kids all the time, like, I truly value our time together, even on the hard days like today. And my relationship with my kids is so strong because we have the time to be able to communicate with each other. So for example, if I'm picking up my daughter from school, she's been there for 7 hours a day. Maybe she had a fight with her friend that morning on the playground. Well, by the time she gets in the car 7 hours later, that might not be on her brain. I might never even hear about that. Whereas homeschooling, we're going out on play dates all the time. They're playing on the playground with their friends. They're getting into little tiffs with their friends, completely developmentally, socially normal things happening. As soon as we get back in the car after our little park play date, or sometimes even at the park, they're coming and talking to me about it. I'm finding it out right away. I'm able to help them work through their issues. It strengthens our bond and relationship as parent and child, but also as like a role model, like helping them in the moment. Now, does that mean that I'm going to be following my 16-year-old around when she goes to the movie theater with her friends, like helping her with her little tips and whatnot? No, obviously not. But when they're at this young age and I'm able to guide them and help them and then eventually release the reins as they get older, I feel like having that bond and just having a parent that you're able able to talk to and open up to is so important. I get it, like homeschooling is not for everyone. I do not think everyone and their mother should homeschool, but I do have a serious problem with systemic education. Again, not just the public schools. If we're talking private schools, charter schools, doesn't matter. Like that one size fits all education. It's terrible educationally, socially. It's just not the way we're meant to learn. And I will die on this hill that if I found out tomorrow my husband lost his job or I needed to go back to work or whatever, I would sell my house, go live in a tiny ass little apartment, take on 5 extra night jobs or online jobs or whatever. Like I will go to the ends of the earth to ensure that I can continue to homeschool or get my kids into like a micro school, homeschool pod, that kind of thing, before I ever put them into the public school system.